So the first point I had, just wanted to kind of start off with basics and go through the entire community. I know we've got a lot of new players, and anyway, history. So this place kind of started when Chris and I got together, and we had several friends that were gamers, and we were gamers, and but we didn't really have a central place to reside and I guess call home. So that's kind of how Great Architect was created, just as a place where friends could come, hang out, and play games together. We originally started out with Elder Scrolls, Guild Wars 2, Diablo 3, and WoW. And it wasn't long, and the Diablo 3 and the WoW were dropped. There wasn't a whole lot of activity, and we played Guild Wars 2 for quite a while. It's but we started half about a year into Guild Wars 2, really, almost a year, about 6 months. So a lot of the guilds were already established, and it's really hard to kind of build a large guild out of something like that. So we really didn't grow until ESO started, and we've had more members here recently than we've kind of had ever, and we're coming up on our first year. And I think that's actually, right off the top of my head, it's either like the 21st to the 23rd or sometime later this
22nd, I
month.
think.
22nd. So yeah, it's this month, later this month, will be a year old. So that's really exciting to see this place come from where in just a year, we're over 200 members. It's been a lot of fun. The next point I had was I was just going to kind of speak on the values, just kind of what Great Architect means or really stands for, more or less. No, that's not even what I meant either. Came out wrong. Um, Basically, the community it was founded on the idea of just being helpful in general, I guess is the best way to put it. We, Chris and I, we are technical support reps. We help people all day long. And in order to survive and make a career in such a job, it has to be in your nature. You just have to, be the type of person that can, I guess, tolerate uh, a lot of a lot of questions. A lot of the people that we've recruited, even for the ESO, a lot of the liaisons, they've all volunteered
User joined
their
your
time,
channel.
to help people, to answer questions, the good questions and the stupid questions. And Chris and I's line of work, we put up with a lot of stupid, but it's just who we are, and it's kind of the place that we've built here, and it's the ideal that we've built it on is to be helpful and just to help the next gamer. I don't really know what else to say. Be nice and be helpful. Do you want to add something, Chris, to that part?
Yeah, I mean, I want to throw in there too. We are a multi-gaming community. Bottom line, and we've exploded with World of Warcraft or ESO, and like I said, WoW. We had people in there that wanted to play WoW, and they did play WoW. But the thing is, they didn't interact with anything with the rest of the community. They didn't do anything on the side or anything like that. Same thing with Diablo 3. Um, it's going to apply with ESO, Guild Wars 2, whenever it was in there, Star Citizen, Minecraft, everything. We want people to interact with one another on the site globally, whether it be just going to the forums and chiming in with a post somewhere or reading something that somebody's put up, and even sending them a message saying, "Hey, I read that post. It was awesome." Um,
Hang on, don't get ahead of me.
Okay. But like you said, the bottom line is we want to be up front, foremost, helping one another, and I think that everybody has been doing an exceptional job of helping each other and trying to make sure that everybody has the information they need.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one reason I really wanted to have this meeting is I just wanted to kind of get that out there, and I wanted everybody here to be on the same page. I um, cause as time goes on, somewhere somehow, a bad seed will spawn, and if we are not all vigilant, it will spread, and our concept of a helpful community will slowly degenerate if we don't all help to upkeep that. The next point that I wanted to talk about were some of the features that we had as a community. And before I get into them, I just want to say, you know, I really encourage comments on these features, and if you think if you think they could be improved, if you think there could be just gotten rid of, or if you know of some
User
new
joined your
ones that could
channel.
be added. So the first one that I want to go over is the site points, and you've been on the website, you've seen them underneath your name over on the right-hand side. Um, Site points, you get 5 for joining the community, 3 for creating a thread, one every 2 posts. You get so half a point a post. Um, One for every like. We have award badges. I'll get into those next, and you can be awarded points per award badge. Um, Streaming, our streamers, they're awarded points for the time that they stream. And probably little known fact, YouTube videos. I actually do plan on giving our YouTubers points for all the videos that they have actually put out there. So whenever I decide what that number is, you can expect to see those. Let's see. The points. I kind of. Okay, let me go ahead and get into the badges because they're part of the points as well. So we have a few badges, and the badges ain't really been touched in a long time. We could use some ESO badges if anybody has any ideas, or some extra community badges. But what we've got right now, um, recruiter. Every time someone submits an application, they're asked who they were referred by. We can tally that up, and there'll be a badge based on how many referrals you have. There's 5 badges for 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 referrals, and they'll reward 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50 credit points. Let's see. Really, a lot of these could be revisited, but I'll go ahead and just throw them out there. We have a hot topic. If you create like a hot topic forum, 5 of them, 10, 15, 20, or 25 hot topics on the forums, you'll get 5, 10, 15, and 25 corresponding credit points. Let's see. This badge doesn't award any credit points, but it's a badge that marks the highest number of credit points that you have achieved. And there's 5 tiers to it. 150 is the first, then 500, 1,000, 2,000, and finally 4,000 for the top tier. There's also a community supporter donating 90, 180, 360 days to the site. That's that definitely needs to be revisited. But the 30, 50, 90, and 100 and $150 to the PayPal, that still corresponds and equates to days anyway, so that's all right.
User joined your channel.
If you're consistently posting like related guides and builds on the forums, you'll actually be rewarded the professional, all right, professor. That's what it is. Profession professor. It actually awards 100 credit points, and you get the little badge for that. And just general game related guides could also award you game guru, like if you were posting guides across multiple games or something. That also awards 100 points. And we may have various events that will come with guide or badges, and if you participate in those events, you will have a award a various number of points for those as well. Now you can spend your points in the store, and the store is another thing that could use some improvements, and it could use some suggestions from the community. But if you take a look at it, the first thing you notice is you can actually purchase credit points. 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000, and 4,000 for $2, $3.50, $6, 11, and $20 for the 4,000. Um, we are we do have actually plans to put T-shirts and other various Great Architect merchandise up on the shop. I hope that we can get that up pretty soon, but we don't have anything like that just yet. We do sell like advertising on the front page on the showcase slot. If you want to put up an image there, like Defatank does with his ESO recap, he actually spends 125 site points a month to put that image up there. Um, our players and our members, if they have things that they think can fit on the shop, you can bring those to us, and we can put those up there as well. And we can talk about, you know, the pricing at the time that you contact us about it. But for example, Defa's got some signatures up here that he's made, and a few people have purchased those. They're 125 points apiece. You can check those out. I've actually put some Steam games up there that I can gift out to people. You can actually purchase those for cash or points. And we do have a Minecraft store. You can purchase in-game Minecraft subscriptions and items. And also, um, just real quick, I want to speak on the section titled Remote Support and Consulting. I've really spent the past probably 10 years um, on computers, but really, what gamer hasn't to some degree? If if anybody in the community ever has a problem with their computer, I really hate to see you take it to somebody that either would do you wrong or charge you for something that I could have possibly helped you for much cheaper. So if you ever have an issue, you can always use the contact us button on the side to get a hold of me, and we can kind of talk back and forth about your problem and see if I think it might be something that I could help you with. Um, and just some numbers. If I were to actually help somebody remotely and I was able to complete the job, to satisfactory, I I was thinking, 25 an hour with a 1 hour minimum. We're talking about cleanups, installs, general configuration, just whatever you need. Contact me. We'll talk about it. We'll see if it's something that I think, that I can handle remotely. We have a calendar. It's always been there, but it's not really been in your face on the website. Liaisons, I do want to let you guys know that you do have the ability to create and admin your own events on this calendar. Everybody else will notice off to the right-hand side, the small calendar there, the days that are kind of highlighted in a brighter border and font actually have events. If you click on them, a little window pops up and tells you what it is. Everyone's pretty or aware of this. The TeamSpeak 3, it's available, obviously, but it is a feature that we do have. Um, the ultimate Twitch bot. If you're not really a streamer, you're not really interested in this, but if you ever do want to become a streamer or you are streaming, you might want to take a look at it. It's a little program that me and Defa have kind of been bashing our heads together to develop. And what it does, it's going to award your viewers with points. And there's also a giveaway system. And there's a lot of other features that I'm really not going to get into, but check it out. greatarchitect.us/UTB or the UTB icon down at the bottom of the page. And I mentioned it a moment ago, the contact us on the side of the website. I pretty much monitor that anytime I'm at a computer. Any submissions come to my email. So if you have any problems with the website, if you have any problems with Minecraft, if you have any problems with TeamSpeak, you're welcome to use that. But it's not limited to just those things. It's pretty useful. If you need to contact us, you can't get a hold of us right away, or if it's something that is not pressing and but does need attention later, that's a good place to store it so that we can look at it when we do get time. Real quick, I just want to talk about some of the um, expenses. So the website is hosted by engine.com. If you're interested in building an engine website, by the way, we do have a referral link at the bottom. It's currently on the advanced plan, which is pretty much does everything that we need. The website makes it really easy for Chris and I to do a lot with very little effort. That's kind of why we used it in the beginning as opposed to building one from scratch. Uh, yearly, yearly we pay $85.92 for that advanced plan. I think our year is actually up in about 143 days, so we still got a few months on that. It'll be sometime later this year that we'll have to pay that 85. We do have a thread that does talk about our income and expenses. I've actually logged everything that's come in and out of the community in a thread. At the moment, it is locked behind closed doors, though. I will move that out into a members only viewable area so everybody can see the money that's coming in and out of the community. And currently our total balance, just so everybody knows, is $28.91. We just recently paid for our first month of VPS, which is the next expense I wanted to get to. VPS, virtual private server. Um, it actually cost us $18 a month to run this thing. But for $18 a month, it hosts our Minecraft server and our 512 slot TeamSpeak server. So that's really quite a bargain. What's interesting about it is it's hosted through a company called CheapHost, which we also have a referral link at the bottom of the website if you ever want a VPS. They have this hardware fee, and you can either pay the hardware fee throughout 2 years, or you can pay it all up front, and then don't have to worry about a hardware fee ever again through this company. Right now, we pay $18 a month for the server. Our hardware fee is $216 at this moment. If we were to pay that $216, it would actually drop that VPS fee down from $18 to $9 a month. So that would mean $9 a month for Minecraft and our TeamSpeak 3 server. The domain, it'll come up sometime later this year, just around the same time as the engine will. And it's only like $9 for the entire year.
Hey, Blue.
Yes.
Do you have the stats of that VPS as far as the amount of data and things like that it holds?
Yeah, let's see here. For the $18 a month, at the moment, we're actually setting on 2 gigs of RAM, a 40 gig hard drive, and it's 3,000 gigs of bandwidth, which we don't even touch. We don't touch the disk space, we don't touch the bandwidth. We're using half of the RAM right now. Oh, and it's 4 cores, which we're not really touching either. So we're not in we're about half as far as RAM, and that's the most taxed resource on the VPS right now. The next topic I had was our games that we currently feature. Let's go in alphabetical order, starting with Elder Scrolls, um, which is actually has nothing to do with me. It's not my domain. I'm going to offer a few moments over to Chris to speak on ESO.
Yeah, as far as ESO is concerned, um, first, holy crap. I mean, it is expanded far quicker than I anticipated it to expand. And we're definitely getting attention out in the social world from many people. Some of them are some pretty big name guilds and communities out there. Zos has seen us. They know we're out there and what we're doing. So as far as Elder Scrolls Online itself, it's growing great. Uh, we're ranging, like I said, multiple guilds across the board. Got Great Architect, Messiah Complex. That's led by Curse. He's doing a great job over there. He's actually got the most amount of people in his guild, and he's pushed tons of people to the community. So big credits to him. We've also got some of the smaller guilds, which is the Dread Talon and Sanctuary. Those are led by Frawl and Young Bull, which is Raw. Those are DC guilds, and both of those, it's good to see that we've got members from different alliances. We accept anybody that wants to come in and ask questions. It goes back to what I was saying. We want to be helpful. As far as the support, everybody's been doing a great job trying to help each other out. Making sure that we got the materials we need to do the researching we want to do. So it just everybody needs to keep on track with what we're doing, and just interaction. People talks inside a guild chat a lot, asking questions, and I don't really see anybody that's had their questions ignored. It seems like everybody's doing a really great job of responding to that stuff. We always want to make sure that we are, directing people back to the Great Architect community, the site globally. As far as Great Architect and the way that it's ran, anybody in the game is welcome to join Great Architect, as far as that's concerned. When they get into the guild, they'll be a recruit. And then if they want to move up into member rank, they do have to join the community site and become a full member. When they're accepted, they'll get the access of the forums, the team speak, and have guild bank access and guild store access, stuff like that. So that is just there to protect Great Architect's guild bank. And we don't want just some random person joining the guild, looting all the stuff out of the bank or whatever, and then leaving, or using us as a place for them to flip items, basically. So that's the reason those rules are in place at that place. If anybody's having any issues, loading the site or anything like that, I don't care if you tell them, message Definitely, he'll be glad to help you out. I've had a couple people that's had some issues registering for the site, but the bottom line is when these people come into the site to register, they need to be reading and understanding what they're getting into. This is larger scale than just a guild. We are a guild, but we're a community. And we support multiple guilds. We support all 3 alliances, so very broad range stuff. Now, as far as the
User joined your channel.
the recent liaisons, currently all the liaisons we have: Adora, we got Frawl, Crave, Lanham. There's somebody else that's in there. Geosin, he just got promoted up. Inca and Geosin is the two
Curse.
most, and Curse. I've actually got Curse labeled as a liaison in here right now. He's not a liaison in the community site officially. He's just not submitted one. The reason I have him labeled as a liaison in the TeamSpeak is so that he has the ability to move people around where he's a guild leader. So I'll probably
It's like an
be
honorary degree.
yeah, I'll be revisiting that with the TeamSpeak. I trust Curse with liaison rights. It's just so that he can move people around since he's the guild lead of Messiah Complex. So that's the reason that that's there. But I do want to get into where there's tags in TeamSpeak for these guild leads, and they can do what they need to do in TeamSpeak because they definitely need that stuff. So that's where that's sitting at. The TeamSpeak, we're still working on perfecting the channels and stuff like that for what we need, and I do want to go over some stuff with these channels. Members should be able to create their own little channels if they need to create them. Like if you go down to run a dungeon and you see, okay, under dungeons, well, there's already 4 people sitting in dungeons. I can't go to dungeons to run a dungeon, because I don't want to go overstep their party. You can right click those channels and create sub channel, and it'll make a temporary channel for you. You'll join into that channel. Your people can come down and join in with you, run your dungeon, talk to one another. I want to try to avoid tons and tons of permanent channels in there, so that's the reason it's open so that you can create you a channel to go into. But me and Blue's just got to sit down and nitpick these settings in TeamSpeak to death to make sure that everything's right. We've got it operational, but it's not where it should be, bottom line. If you're having problems with people, you've seen the public channels. We got Trials Public. We've been using that in the PTS because we've had new people that's not part of the community coming in and running these trials with us. Somebody joins into one of those channels and they're just being a total jerk. Liaisons have control to be able to get them out of there, message me, and we'll get them banned if we have to, bottom line. Same thing with the Cyrodiil public channel. That is so whenever we go into Cyrodiil, if you're messaging people out in the world and they join in with your group, then they can come into TeamSpeak. They can join these public channels and participate. There is a 45-minute idle kick, so if they're sitting there talking and they're quiet for 45 minutes and they never chime in, they're going to get kicked from the server. They can rejoin and come right back down, but that does increase as you go up into the members. So it's really to promote people coming into the community and being part of the community and really caring about the community itself. So that's basically where we are with ESO, and the people that I've put in the liaison positions, I can't give you guys enough credit for what you've done in this guild and in the community. You guys have just done amazing stuff and kept this community going. If it would have been left up to me to do this all by myself, it would have probably flopped, honestly. I mean, there's just been so much stuff, and I just can't give you guys enough praise about what you guys do every single day. If anybody's interested in becoming liaison, put in an application, go to the website, applications. There's a liaison application there that you'll fill out. Just because you fill out an application does not mean that you're going to be given liaison. Just don't go into liaison like, I think that I need liaison because I deserve to be a liaison. I've done this, and this, so I think that I deserve it. That is not the way that the liaison stuff works. The liaison stuff is, I sit and listen and look at what people's doing, and I've got a whole bunch of things that I gauge to put people in liaison positions. Administration, that's another thing that we've not even experimented into. Nobody in this community has ever been an admin except for me and Blue. We've just not got to that point. And one big reason is because there is a lot of trust that goes into being an admin. And bottom line, if you get put into an admin position, you have more or less just as much power as me and Blue does. So, we expect people to have just as much love for this community and want to see it succeed and live and thrive as we do. That's going to be your administration team, but it takes time to get there. There is no two ways about it. Time will tell who your admins are. But the liaisons, they're there to give you guys a little bit of responsibility to show your worth to the community. Liaisons is not a huge difference in that of a member. I mean, yes, you do have other responsibilities, but it's just a thing to give you more responsibilities to see how you gauge it, see how you react. So, just be yourself. And if you want to be a liaison, if you truly want to be a liaison, apply. I'll gauge stuff and we'll go from there. But again, don't think that it's something that you deserve or whatever. That's a terrible word to throw into liaison, and I don't want people to ever get the impression that they have to work to get something when you're working with me. I mean, you're going to get it because I think that you can handle it and you're good at it. That's my impressions of putting people into officer roles and stuff. Other than that, we've been doing a lot of PTS testing on ESO, and it's going great. The guilds are forming great. I appreciate everybody what you're doing. I'll hush now and let Blue take back over for ESO or for everything else. And I do have some additional stats at the end that I want to throw in. So, Blue, you can have the floor back.
Thank you for that. So, continuing on down the list, next we have Minecraft. Just recently, actually opened up to the public. I've been adminning the Minecraft server. To be honest, I have not played a whole lot of Minecraft myself. I do enjoy the game. I'm just not given a lot of time. But I did want to build a server, a place for the community. I recognize a lot of people play, and our engine website was actually really well equipped for a Minecraft server. So we went forward with it. We are mc.greatarchitect.net. It's an RPG type server. It's we try to keep it simple. I hate going into a server and there's just overly complex, a lot of stuff to do. So basically, if you're a member or greater status, you can claim land, and you can build your house on it and stuff, and you can protect it. Beyond that, it's open PvP. I won't go into too much detail onto it, but if you are interested in it, definitely stop by the forums, check out the Start Here thread. It's lacking in a lot of documentation. I've been trying to get that caught up, among doing other things, so I've had to ration my time here and there. But and I forgot about this. On the Minecraft game page, you can actually take the time to vote for a Minecraft server, increase the popularity, increase the traffic, and you can do that once a day. And if you vote all 5 times, you can actually get 15 credit points a day for it. Site points. The next game is Star Citizen. Star Citizen. If you ain't heard about it, you should check it out. Robert Space Industries. It's going to be a space sim. We're definitely going to get into it. I've already created an organization over on the Star Citizen website. If you look, I think you can either look it up by Great Architect or you can look it up by 1618. That's like the tag or whatnot. If you already have an account, you can actually apply to join to the organization over there, and you'll be in it when the game launches. That will be incorporated into the game, so you're officially in the Star Citizen Guild at that point. Not a whole lot on the Star Citizen front, unless you're just following the game as it develops. Um, but as far as Great Architect concerns, we're going to get into it, but for the time being, we're just kind of keeping our ears open.
So for Star Citizen, what is the current news? What is the current state? In case there are people who aren't following it who might actually be interested.
I debated in my head for a brief moment as whether or not to get into that, but since you brought it up, I'll go ahead and touch on it a little bit.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So they have released. Well, they're going to come out with the game in pieces until they can put all the pieces together and build the persistent universe that they're calling it. The first piece that they came out with is the hangar. The hangar, you're actually able to log in and you can walk around your hangar where you keep your ship. If you have a ship, you can actually look at your ship. You can get in your ship, and I think at this point you can even test weapons. And there's a really nifty fish tank with fish in it. The next module they'll come out with, that they have actually renamed Arena Commander. And this module will allow us to take our ships out of the hangar and fight each other in an arena style match. This is all in the name of giving back to the people that have give to them and help them in testing. So the third module, I'm drawing a blank. I think it's probably the Squadron 42. There's going to be several installments of the Arena Commander. They'll probably be up to like 5 before they move on to the next module, which I do believe is this. What did I just say? Squadron 42.
Right.
In Squadron 42, it's actually a single player. And Squadron 42 is building your character up to the persistent universe. So you'll be able to play that, and when you get through with it, unlikely, but hopefully they'll have the persistent universe ready for us, and you'll be able to hop right into it. And at that point, all the modules will have come into one, and you'll have your full Star Citizen game. That I believe is going to be awesome. So the moving right along, I want to touch on a few policies that we have in the community. First one is activity. It's pretty simple. We basically just ask that you visit the website. Well, let me put it this way. We want everybody to participate in the community. But at the very bottom
New
minimum,
donation.
you need to visit the website at least once a week. If you're not going to be able to, give us some kind of notice. There's no official method to doing that. Use to contact us, send us a message, post on the forums, just as long as it gets in our face somehow. If you've gone 60 days without visiting the website and without a notice, you'll actually be moved into inactive. And you'll lose some rights. Currently, you'll lose the right to use the TeamSpeak server. If you've not visited the website in 60 days, you won't be able to use TeamSpeak. And if any of the individual guild leaders want to impose their own rules on inactive members, they're welcome to do so. As far as the Great Architect community goes, I do believe that is our only restriction on inactive members. As far as individual guilds go, they can decide what to do with that player. If they want to keep them in the guild, in game, whatever, that's up to them. Next topic is TeamSpeak 3 etiquette. So we have a lot of people, and in order for this to work, we're going to have to discipline ourselves. I have to discipline myself. A lot of us, well, anyway, I didn't mean to say what I was about to say. Um, we have specific channels, and in general, we need to stay within the topics of that channel. Obviously, it's okay to deviate as long as it's not interrupting a topic specific conversation. Example, if you're in ESO channel, you're generally talking about ESO. General ESO conversation is all good. Do try not to interrupt people. Um, I know it's habit for almost everybody. Maybe not everybody, but a lot of people. I have a bad habit of it. Um, Baby's pissed off. And try not to be too long-winded, especially if there's a lot of people in the channel and you notice like people are talking back to back to back to back to back. You know there's somebody in there that's wanting to get a word in. They're just sitting back quietly, not wanting to interrupt somebody. So out of respect, when you do notice that occurring, try to be brief. It's gonna take us all, participating in order to make it work with such large numbers. Just gonna have to use our manners, guys. Um, but back to what I was originally talking about. If you're in an ESO channel, your general topic is going to be about ESO. If your ESO, I mean, if you have another conversation going on that's interrupting ESO conversations, that's not okay. If it's not interrupting ESO conversations, if there's dead air there, it's okay. There's no problem with that. This baby is, or I won't say this baby, my baby, Daisy, is distracting me with her yelling.
Go check on it, homie.
Well, my Sarah is getting her bottle, and that's why she's quiet now. Is because she has her bottle. She was just getting it ready for her, and she's thrown me off track. Um, Chris, help me. Do you have anything
User
else to
joined your
talk about
channel.
on TeamSpeak 3 etiquette?
Yeah, I mean, basically, what you were saying with when conversations are going on, and I touched on this a little while back with, how just conversations have been going um, in chat. And, like he was saying, don't be long-winded. I'm the first one. I am guilty as charged. And
Amen.
I know I am. And I have been trying so hard to get off of being long-winded. But, the thing is that we want to always know when people is having, like, serious conversations about the game of that channel. Let those conversations happen. And then, we can bullshit later type thing. That's not saying that you can't ever bullshit in a channel at all, because we always do that. Every one of us, we sit and just have general conversations and tell jokes and stuff, and it's funny. That's part of the community. We want that to continue to go on. Just try to use a little bit of common sense, I guess, with things of communication, and know when is a good time to joke and when it's not. I mean, to me, I see it very clearly. When people's trying to have a serious conversation about something and get information covered, that I'll stay off the mic unless I have something to chime in with, and then I'll chime in and try to make it as short as possible and get back off the mic. As far as like dungeon runs or trial runs and things like that, this is something I think does need to be set very clearly, because I've started seeing it with over the weekend, throughout the week, and I tried to head it off, early on, and it's diverted a little bit. But when you have a dungeon group going, 4-player group, go down to the dungeons. You're not being rude to anybody else in the channel by leaving the channel. Nobody needs to think that they're trying to just exclude us. Whatever. Chances are they want to be down there so that they can effectively talk to one another without having crosstalk. And that's the way it needs to be, approached. those channels are not there to try to get away from other people or things like that. I mean, if you've got things that you're trying to discuss and you need another channel, go make a channel to go discuss your stuff if there's a lot of crosstalk. That's what this stuff is there for. But especially dungeons, when you go down into a dungeon channel and there's 4 people down there, if anyone else joins the channel, you need to yield your conversations to the group that's in there. Those 4 people that went into that channel, if you go and join it, don't drop in, hey guys, how's it going? What's going on? What are you doing down here? As soon as you pop in the channel, they could be in the middle of a fight, and they're very quiet and trying to concentrate. If you step in, wait a little bit, see what's going on first, see what kind of communication's going on in there. If they don't say anything, then you could chime in with a, hey, how's it going? Lanham, I needed to mention something to you. Is okay? And then see what the response is, that type of thing. Trials, exact same thing. They're 12-man. Chances are what you're going to see at the live game with Trials is there will be a 12-player limit, and it's going to be just the people that is in that trial that is going to be in that channel. And that's it. Because those things are a lot more difficult. So that's going to go for any channel. If it's something that is going to be specific, that it takes a X number amount of people to do, that type of thing, that's what you're going to see in the channel. PvP, we've already discussed this, and we're working on getting this resolved. We can't have 48 people, 72 people all sitting in one channel, trying to talk and communicate. So we're trying to get this thing broken down to where we've got raid leads or group leads that, we're going to be talking between one another, leader to leader, and then the leader will tell the group, okay, here's what we're going, this is what we're doing. Follow those leads. Whenever you're in those channels, again, in PvP, keep an eye for when conversation is serious. If you're in the heat of battle and there's tons of people down there fighting, that's not the time to chime in with, oh my god, I just farted, you won't believe how bad it stinks, type stuff. If the fight's over, chances are, yeah, you can chime in with something retarded to say and get a laugh, or stuff like that. But I think that is pretty much probably where Blue is going with etiquette and things like that.
Can I cover something else on etiquette that would probably help a lot?
Yeah, go ahead.
And the way I discussed it was, it's no one person's fault. It's human nature to gravitate towards whichever room has the most people in it. We have a lot of new people coming in, so they immediately gravitate towards certain people that they've already talked to and things like that. The trick is this: if you come in and you've got 3 or 4 people in the room and you can start your own conversations, do it. Because if everybody gravitates towards Lanham, and Lanham came to hang out with Crave, or Crave came to hang out with me, you end up in these trail effects where everything goes to the same room. And then one person leaves, and another person goes to hang out with them, and then another person goes to talk to see what's going on, and then it all gravitates back down to that room. So, nobody's ever not welcome in one of my chats. Everybody's welcome. But you'll notice that once it hits 10 to 20, I'm out. Because you got too many people talking in one room again. So the more people can initiate their own conversations and get people in here and not feel like everybody has to gravitate towards one room, the more this works. We want everybody to hang out and have a good time. We just don't want everybody in the same room. No matter who you are.
And I agree. I know people tend to follow me. As weird as that may sound. Who wants to follow Death Tank? No.
Who in the right mind does that?
Who does that?
Death Tank wants to follow Death Tank.
Exactly. No, bottom line, hop into the lobbies. Check and see who all's in there. Sit and talk to them, things like that. Just because there's more people in one channel than there is another doesn't mean that you have to go down to that channel because it's larger. If you want to go down and just say, hey, what's going on? Just wanted to stop in and say hi. Short conversations, good. Then you go back to another channel somewhere. If you see that things is very chatty in that channel, either one, yield, stay off the mic as much so that it's not as aggravating, or two, pick some people, say, hey guys, y'all want to group up and go do something, blah, 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 whatever. Try to get in a group and go do stuff. And it goes for anybody in the guild. Try to make sure that you're interacting with everybody. I know that there's going to be groups of people that like to play with one another more so than others, but periodically from time to time, if you see
from your channel.
random Joe down here that's like, hey, I need to do this, and nobody's answering him, and you're not doing anything, say, I don't really know the guy, so let me try to help him out. Send him a message and jump in group with him.
Also, if anybody here, for those that are in Great Architect and Side Complex, for the last couple of days, I've stepped out of a lot of runs so that Dubba and Lanham can run other people in these dungeons and get people figuring out what they're doing, how to do it better. But it's also on everybody here to do that. Do not sit around and wait for somebody to cherry pick you for a run. You got to do it yourself. You got to develop these relationships. Hey, who wants to go run this dungeon? Sometimes people aren't going to jump. That's just how people are. But that's the only way you get there. We didn't start running together because we all waited for somebody else to invite us. It was, hey, who wants to go do this? And then, somebody happened to beat the door down and find one more person. So, yes, start these groups up. This is where the friendship starts. This is where good gaming goes. And getting with other people you feel comfortable with running with until you reach that point where you feel like you're the team supreme. And, I can't wait for Joe Bob to come on so we can get this dungeon run. At the same time, don't exclude other people. Give people chances. Help develop other people as skilled players.
Exactly.
One more topic that I wanted to speak on regarding TeamSpeak, and really etiquette in general. We recruit 18 plus. We advertise a mature community consisting of mostly adults. The majority of us have family and kids. We're not religious. We allow cussing. The occasional dirty joke is okay. We all do need to know where our boundaries are there, though. If you're going to play your TeamSpeak audio out of your speakers and you've got a family, just be forewarned. You never know what can come out of Lanham's mouth.
I was going to say Lanham. If you
We
didn't
love
call
Lanham.
it,
But really, I want everybody to try and keep it tasteful. We are all adults here. I think we can joke and have a good time and cut up in a tasteful manner. Sometimes people can take it too far. Some people's definitions of too far are different than others. So just try to be aware of that and be tolerant of one another if need be. And if it does become an increasing problem, I would rather you storm to me or Defa before you storm out the door. Come talk to us, especially if you've not yet. Chances are we can get it hashed out.
And I want to add on that note, I'll tell you right now, Ops, he's messaged me on things that he wanted to talk. He was kind of afraid to message me at first. And I told him, and I'll tell anybody, bottom line, if you want to talk to me, message me, say, we need to talk. I want to talk to you. I don't care what it's about. I try my best to shoot straight with anybody about anything. And, if you need one-on-one time to communicate with me, tell me. Say, hey, pull me aside, pull me up to officer, do something, put me and you in a channel because we've got to talk about something. And, don't be afraid that you're going to hurt my feelings or you're going to get kicked from the community or whatever. I try to take things all in grand scope of what's going on and get everybody's view of everything and make a decision on what's best as a whole for the community.
Hey, and since it's Defa talking, as somebody who's not Defa, I can tell you nobody's more approachable than Defa. If you're new here, nobody's more. If you want to pull Defa into a room and say, hey, Defa, you suck. He'll pull you up in a room and say, Defa, you suck. He's like, cool, thank you. Have a good day. I mean, you can talk to
I,
DEFA about
it's
anything.
true. Really,
You
watch
can
this.
talk to DEFA about
Defa,
anything.
you suck.
I know.
You can talk to DEFA about anything.
I don't know how approachable I am, but I do try to leave as many avenues available as possible to get in contact with me. If you don't like Defa or you don't like his decision, um, please come to me or to somebody that you trust that you think can help.
Don't trust Lanham.
My next topic is I wanted to speak. I wanted to throw this in here, and it's titled DDoS protection, but it's actually got a lot to do with etiquette and how we behave ourselves and how we interact with the outside community and the members in here as well. A lot of DDoSes are done out of spite, or you're just a big dog and somebody needs a target. To keep our community safe, we need to conduct ourselves in a pleasant manner, I guess, so to say. You know, don't go around running your mouth off to some random person just because he's not somebody of the community doesn't mean he's not somebody that's important. Especially if he can take down our services and hurt our fun. So, in general, it's up to you guys to really be our DDoS protection because I don't know if you've priced it lately, but it's super expensive. And I have looked into it. We really our website's protected. Some of our other services they have some protection, but they can't withstand everything. And it's going to come down to the community um, basically being nice to everybody, to put it bluntly. Um, don't be a douchebag, and we won't have douchebags DDoSing us.
We have
That's
Lanham. It's too late.
that's the idea anyway. The last topic, believe it or not, is activities, and we currently only have one, and it is the design contest. Um, we are actually going to change our look, and I'm looking for the community to help me do that. We have a thread up. If you're interested in helping, you need to go check it out. You've got about 3 weeks or so to do that. I'm looking for something simple yet elegant. I don't want it to be too busy, but I want it to be pretty. You get the point across. Go check out the thread. Read what I've put in there. If you want to help design the new look, submit an image. So that's it for me, and I believe Chris had some stats. Before he gets into those stats, the meeting's not over. We're going to have a Q&A afterwards, a moment that if anybody has any questions about anything, we'll be here to answer them. I don't want it to become a chatter session. So ask your questions, receive a response, and then move on to the next one. Don't start just queuing up everybody. Because once we're done with that, if Twitch chat is working, we will use Defa's stream to do a giveaway. But I might have something else in mind. Maybe I'll take everybody that's in TeamSpeak right now, throw them into a pool, and we may draw some points winners. All right. So anyway, but for now, Defa has the floor.
All right. One thing that I do want to say, and I seen it come up above during the scroll, and you can probably hear this thing. It's just ding to ding to ding to ding. But somebody, I think it was Geo, said something very good, and it goes back to talking to people, needing somebody to talk to about something. Come to get me or Blue or whatever. If you need to message a liaison, message them. that's part of what they do. I've entrusted that they know how to answer issues. They know how to sit and assess problems and can diffuse issues or whatever. So, absolutely. Remember, the liaisons are there. You can message them and get answers. I trust the people that's in the liaison positions to answer questions. So, absolutely. Very good point. Don't forget the liaisons. Now, the point, or the stats that I have, very, very quick, but this is just to show just how much this community has grown. And if you followed the thread in the forums, the community meeting thread, you'll see that these stats are always there. I always keep this stuff updated every month. First, TeamSpeak. We had 32 slots. We have expanded that to over 500. It's a 512-man server. Awesome expansion, and very good that we have that. Members. Now, this is just amazing. We're at 243 members, guys, on the community. That is up from 130 last month. That's just
Nice.
That's the most growth that I have seen, period. 113 members in 1 month, guys. That is because of you all out there recruiting. Sending people this direction, and they're staying. We don't keep every single person, but 243 people, that's just amazing. Forum views. We're up to 120,700 plus forum views right now. That's up from 109,000 last month. So, again, people's posting in the forums. Just because you think what you're putting up there is not being seen by anybody, they're not paying attention to it, that right there shows you they very much are. So, huge amount of forum views. Threads, 425 threads this month. That's up from 382 last month. And, that's been the going trend is, that's basically like at least a thread a day. And with that up from 382, that's over a thread a day. Something new. Brand new thread to go view. Tons and tons of posts out there. I've not kept track of the exact post, but I think we're at like 1,800 posts or something like that. I mean, the community is just booming. I mean, it's grown so much and expanded so quick since Elder Scrolls Online dropped, and we're not going to stop just with Elder Scrolls Online. Going on forward with Minecraft and Star Citizen, as those things expand, more and more people's going to be coming in, and we're not doing this for the numbers. We want to keep the thing of we are a helpful community. That's the people we draw into the community, and that will make it expand by itself. So, we're not about just grabbing any Tom, Dick, and Harry we can get off the street and get them in here. We want people that want to be in the community because they believe in what we stand at our core. Bottom line. Other than that, that's all I've got. So, again, just thank you guys very, very much for what you do in the community, and you're a huge assist. Everybody is.
Okay. What we're gonna do is if you've got a question, first of all, member lobby. Slow the chat down. Let's have some questions there for the people that don't have mics. And if you do have a mic and you have a question, cue it up, but don't say anything. We'll start with Inca. I've seen him on the top of the list.
Awesome. Okay, does it have to be a serious question?
Yes.
Because you weren't specific. Okay, well, my serious question would be...
Yep, next. Let's see.
Frawl's next.
Oh, I'm next? Awesome.
No, I actually did have a question, though.
Okay.
My serious question would be moderation in regards to the forums. As you said, we're probably going to be getting lots of members. And I was just wondering, as liaisons and as you guys being administration, what would happen if, say, an individual who posted on the forums posted something that wasn't very content appropriate. Like, let's say it
Porn.
was, yeah, that, or like say it was a very heated debate, and there was words in it, and somebody might take offense to that. Would you guys take immediate repercussion and like delete that, or would you warn them, or what are the proper steps to go through that and ensure that that form of action is not not to be happening again?
Well, I guess an honest answer would be it's something that we'd have to handle on a case by case basis. Depending on the severity, um, it could be completely, banned altogether. They could just have it removed and warned. It it really depends on what it is. I guess that's probably the best answer that I could give. Were you
It's
looking for
just
something different?
Yeah, well, it's just because I've seen that before. I mean, I've seen on forums where people get quite livid at each other, and almost to the point where it becomes personal attacks. And some individuals can take that easier than others, and some can't. And usually when they read that, they say, oh my god, what is this doing on a website? It not only reflects bad on the individual who said it, but on the community as a whole. So I was interested as to like how you guys went through that, how you dealt with it, and how us as liaisons are supposed to respond and react to that accordingly.
I guess I would say keeping our community philosophy in mind, being a helpful, friendly guild, shunning, you know, ugly behavior, elitist behavior towards one another, keeping that in mind when you're looking at and judging these posts, if you do see that something's getting out of hand, you know, you know, Chris picked you guys. There's not going to be anything that's cut and dry. So he trusts your judgment. Judge with our philosophy in mind and our motto, of just the type of atmosphere that we want to maintain here. And we
I'm just
trust that.
concerned because I've seen it before. That's all. And personalities can change. Like you said, there's lots of us here, and some of us might like each other to begin with, and then things might change. Someone says something, and then hey, I don't like that person anymore, or something like that. Like things could happen. So just curious as to how we would deal with that. That's all.
Adora said something I think me and you, Blue, need to probably look over and put it up there. A guide for forum moderation would be nice to have, like ground rules and stuff. So, yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Just a general rules of how to approach forums.
To be honest, guys, I love your ideas. We can't think of them all ourselves. We're growing so fast. We're outgrowing ourselves. We need things, and we can't do it all. If you can submit tickets for us, it can help us keep track of these things, make sure they get done when time allows. So those form rules, we're not going to do that immediately, but we don't want to forget about it because we're going to need it eventually. That's something that you would want to drop a ticket on the website for us. You have to contact us, throw something in there. We'll get to it.
And
Just for admin purposes, what you may want to look into doing is posting in the liaison forums, just your rules and regulations for how you want us to handle things, just for reference sake.
Yeah, I think
kind
that
of make sure everyone's on the same page.
I think
exactly.
that both of those posts would be, great to have. One in just the general community forums read first top thing of forum behavior that's kind of expected across the board, and then another post in the liaison section that's like our out liaisons. This is kind of your tiers, if you will, of toleration, but it's definitely not going to be black and white. Which that's kind of something else that I wanted to throw in there too. That if you have suggestions, I know we've said it plenty of other times. Please, say something on the forum. Put a forum post up there in the suggestions. That is a place to where it's in black and white. We can go back and read this stuff to jog our memories of this is something that is a suggestion. It's very, very hard for me to remember everything. There's a lot that I get flowing through chats and emails, notifications, just all over the place. And those forum posts, just throwing suggestions up there. Whether it in your mind is just retarded or stupid or whatever, throw it out there. I am not going to come back down on you and be like, the fuck were you thinking putting this up there? That's just stupid. I'm not that kind of a person. Now, if I think it's stupid, I'm probably going to come back and just be like, okay, I seen your suggestion. All right, let's talk about it and assess what you were thinking and go from there. But anywho, I'm not going to sit here and harp.
Okay, so in general, we need some guidelines laid out, and we will plan on doing those.
Excellent.
So who's next in line? We'll just go down the list.
Ops.
Frog. Well,
Me?
did you have a question? I don't know if you queued up or
Yeah,
not.
I can throw out a question actually that has been on my mind, and it's more, well, it's definitely directed at both of you admins, which is, what games are we looking at right now to kind of expand our gaming community to be a real multi gaming community? We have Minecraft and Star Citizen and ESO right now. What other games are we looking at? What are the games that we really just want to make featured games, but we just don't have the numbers for it yet? Or even what games are coming up that we want to bring people together on?
I would say games that we're looking at. Anything that's popular. League of Legends.
User
There's a lot of
joined your
people
channel.
playing that, but I don't know if it's a community-oriented type game. So I don't know if a community would work well with a game like that. Rust is something that comes to mind. I know there were some people interested in Rust. There's first-person shooters out there that I'm sure some of you guys play, and we would totally be
User
willing
disconnected
to
from your
support
channel.
a first-person shooter. But nothing specific comes to mind in the immediate future.
I mean, as far as bringing on games, and I did want to mention that earlier. I just forgot to mention it. If you have a game that you would love to see to be featured on the community site, post it in the forums. There is a section there for other games, and if it starts getting a lot of hits and people's really talking about it and things like that, okay, we need to find somebody to lead this thing. We're going to have a liaison or something that's going to head this game up and keep track of it and stuff like that.
It's really going to depend on the type of game. If it's a first-person shooter, you're going to need somebody that's willing to set up and maintenance a server, or to run a squad if you guys are going for competitive. If it's an MMO, you're going to need a lead. You're going to need a guild lead. You're going to need a structure. But ultimately, if there is a game that you would like to see part of the community, we do need to see the support for it. And I think, talking about it in the forums, that's good. But if you're really interested in it, I believe it would see you and your people playing it in the TeamSpeak. And, when that does start to happen, that'll show us, hey, there is some interest building this game. Let's see what we can do for them. Let's see how we can, support their game. Because all games will be supported differently based on the game.
Ops, do you have a question?
I just got a statement.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just so everybody knows, I made a post on the forums letting everybody know that next Wednesday I'm going to be running Cyrodiil at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I had a few people who came to me and said that they wanted that ran sometime during the middle of the week, so I figured Wednesday would be the most adequate day for that. So just wanted everybody to know that and go on there and send me a message either on the forums or on here. or whatever is suitable for you on Elder Scrolls itself.
Very good, my monocle-wearing good man.
I know
Go ahead.
there's some other people that have mentioned that they got statements they want to make. Let's hold statements till after the questions. Queue up if you actually have a serious question for us. Okay, I thought I seen Crave.
In addition to the question I asked earlier, if there are people who play Titanfall who would really like to just get together and start a group, let me know on the forums because I play it pretty regularly. So I imagine you guys would like to know if there's a group out there that wants to get together and play that game.
Same goes for space engineers. If anyone's a Minecraft lover, that's like it's Minecraft in space.
You guys can put that kind of stuff on the forums, by the way, so people can see it.
Exactly.
It's been on the forums for a while with Titanfall. I'm saying it now because we got an audience.
Well, space engineers. Somebody put that in the forums. I want to check it. I want to look at that later. Crave. I know you have a question.
Yeah, mine's more of a game question than a community question, however. Tomorrow night, I know we've been running PvP on Friday nights. Is that going to be an ongoing thing, or with the PTS access, just for this week and the coming week, are we still doing PvP tomorrow night?
The trials do need to be tested. We may go over to the trial stuff, those of us that have the PTS, because that's about 5 of us, and focus on testing that, because I know that there's definitely some more people that's wanting to get back into the trials that's been running with us. We've only got a limited amount of time with that stuff. So I think that probably for tomorrow night, if we can get our crew on that's in the PTS to go do the PTS and, show the support to ZOS that, they're wanting this testing done. And, for the people that does not have the PTS access, to do Cyrodiil as planned.
Yay!
I don't think I've seen any more questions. Okay, go ahead. Corey?
Yes. The other night, Lanham was talking about the guild being mainly EP, but a couple of other guilds that might be started for AD and DC. My main character that's VR1 right now, she is in DC, so I'm wondering, is there a guild that's going to be started, or is there a guild that I can get into where I can run PvP with you guys?
There is a couple of DC guilds that's in the community right now. There's the Dread Talon that is ran by Frawl, and Sanctuary.
I would be very happy to have you guys. Honestly, just send a message to @Frawl. I'll get you an invite into the Dread Talon. PvP is kind of what I'm more interested in ESO. So, I finally reached Veteran Rank 1 just, less than an hour ago. So, that means I'll be focusing on my EP character a little bit more. But when it comes to Daggerfall Covenant, definitely let me know, because I would love to run more Cyrodiil based activities on the DC side, because I have experience from Guild Wars 2 of running massive Zergs and running huge groups of people. I know how to make a move. I know how to organize PvP. So let me know. I really want to have you guys organized together for a DC PvP experience, because I know that kind of stuff. That's what I'm good at. I can lead a very good PvP group, and I really want you guys to come together. I'm looking forward right now as well for Ebonheart Pact. I'm literally right now going through the initial Cold Harbor tutorial on EP, and I'm looking forward to bringing my PvP experience to you guys. I loved World versus World in Guild Wars 2, and I'm pretty experienced at leading large groups of people in PvP. So talk to me, talk to Frawl. I know my PvP stuff when it comes to big groups of people. So keep that in mind.
Perfect.
Yeah, and
Perfect.
Dread Talon is probably the larger of the two when it comes to Dread
Sanctuary
Talon or
is actually
Sanctuary.
larger right now.
Is it?
Yeah, there's only 3 or 4 of us in Dread Talon right now. It's because I haven't gotten really anybody to stand up and come join us. Yeah, you understand with with Great Architect that there's a lot of people right now who are like, you don't have 400 members, so I'm not interested.
Right. And we knew, and I want to hit on this too. We knew whenever things got started with this guild and the community itself. I looked at everything, and we just did not have the numbers there to initially start off with tons of people in all 3 alliances. So, ultimately the vote was cast, and it was a better decision to have Great Architect and Messiah Complex, which was the 2 dominant guilds at that time that had all the traffic for people joining in, to be an EP. And I still think that it was a very good decision that we went that way, but by any means whatsoever, we are not wanting to close out DC and AD at all. I want those to expand, and the only way they're going to expand is, just like what just happened. People inquiring, hey, is this out there? There are people that's DC and AD that are in EP guilds right now, like Great Architect and Messiah Complex. Those people need to be made aware of, you have these other guilds. They need to grow. And, it's not going to hurt my feelings for someone to leave Great Architect to go join Messiah Complex or the Dread Talon. You guys are all part of the Great Architect community. That's why I said that the central hub is greatarchitect.us. Becoming a community member and coming into this large TeamSpeak server as a one-stop shop for grouping up with the people you need to group up with. That's what we want. It's not about, the huge amounts of numbers and everybody's in this one guild. That's great to have the large numbers in the guilds. But the bottom line is we want them in the community and everybody participating in the community.
Hey, Chris. Finish up your question. I think did you list all the guilds?
Great Architect is EP. Messiah Complex is EP. Dread Talon and Sanctuary are DC. We just picked up Legion of the Full Moon. That's led by Zombie Fatales. I cannot say your name for shit. I don't think he's in here. Thank you. That was that's a werewolf guild that is EP as well. Geo, I also need to talk to you again about bones and stuff. I know he's looking at forming those together or whatever, so I'll meet with you after this. But you can go to greatarchitect.us/ESO, and there is a link right there down in the bottom that shows all of our guilds, all right, and who the contact names are. Go there and look at it. It's all got the flags for which alliance they are and any kind of special notes about them. There's also a trading guild that is working with everybody as well. That's ran by Crave, and it is Lower East Ebon Trading. And, that's kind of like our central place to go to buy and sell our items, if you will. And we're trying to use the guild bank and things like that for, our own selves to trade items between one another that way. But, these other guilds, yes, it's got people in them that have no clue of Great Architect, about the community or anything like that. And that's what we want. We want them to come into the community, become part of the community, and see just how big this community is.
Next question, anyone?
Yeah, I could ask something.
Sure, go ahead.
With the website and forums updates and stuff, the look and stuff like that, we're going to look at any other upgrades like drop-down database and stuff like that.
I'm sorry,
Drop-down.
Hang on. I'm sorry, Sid.
Yeah, drop-down databases for stuff like information on crafting tables and stuff. I know it's in the forums at the moment. I'm getting a lot of lag in the forums which I assume is being addressed, or might just be from my side. But yeah, some drop-down database or something like that with information from game information and stuff like that.
Blue, do you mind if I field this one?
Okay.
So at this time, Blue and Defa may they can add in after this, but at this time I'm actually working on exactly what you're asking for. I have already created a drop down for enchanting that tells you exactly what runes you need for the exact enchants and everything. I'll get you that link and post it later. It's like tindaval.com /_ enchanting or something like that. And I'm currently writing the code for the drop down database for crafting using Defa's Google document. And then once that's done, you'll be able to go in and search either by user or by the item or trait that you're looking for to see who has what and that type of stuff, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, see, that'd be awesome. Just for idiots like me and new players that want something a bit more fluent than scanning through areas on the forums.
Actually, Crave, I think I took that one down because that was my work one, and I didn't want the boss to find out I was using the work website to host stuff.
You might want to take it down again because it's still working.
Okay.
Sid, I'm not quite sure if I understand exactly what you're asking. Did he answer your question, or was you looking for something different?
Well, I was just wondering whether it was going to be actually implemented on the website, something for ESO
User
or any of
disconnected
the
from your
other any of the other games, where once you're in that section, like in the ESO section, there may be a drop down with a list, say like blacksmith or crafting, then blacksmithing or something like that, and then you can go through with stuff on just quick click menus where tables are and so whatnot, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm on the page with you now. Okay. We're pretty limited to what we can do. Iframes are something that we can do, yet we're limited to how many iframes that we can do. Well, modules. Well, let's see, we can have an HTML module. Inside of an HTML module, you can put iframes. But we're limited to how many modules we can have, HTML or whatever. We've got less than 10 left. In order to get more, we actually have to upgrade our website from advanced to ultimate. So potentially, off-site, these things could be built, and then we could iframe them into our website, or we could just promote and blast the hell out of these websites that our community members decide to make.
It sounds good.
I have posted the link to the enchanting in the member lobby. Don't use the one that Crave posted. That will be coming down tomorrow. Use the tindaval.com /_ enchanting. And that's the current enchanting page. And like I said, I'm working on the trait page currently. It'll be probably another week before that's ready to go.
And Tindaval, whenever this website of yours is ready, and if you want to put it out to the public, we've got the tools to put it out on our social media. And where'd my social media notes go? I completely left those out. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I think we have a Google Plus page. All on the website. We have a Steam page. Check those out.
User
join
disconnected
up.
from your
We
channel.
put out blast on those. That was the quick and dirty of the social media side. But yeah, we'll promote
follow
that
up on
website.
Google Plus, I'm waiting until you do the Great Architect redesign for all the icons and the labels and just the general feel and whatnot before I start making the Great Architect page public.
Fralt, we need to talk about that.
Okay.
Because we actually have a page. We've had a page all along, and it's tied in with our YouTube channel. That's how it happened, but it's not being used.
User left your channel.
I think you need to move all your stuff over there, and make you a manager over there. Do we have any other questions? I know, Lanham, I hadn't forgot about you. I don't see any other questions. If you have statements, I tell you what, Lanham, go ahead with what you had to say. Defa, is Twitch working? Can we do a giveaway with Twitch?
Yes.
Or should... Here's another thing. Not everybody in here is in Twitch, I'm sure. I think we should just number everybody, take a picture right now, number everybody from top to bottom, roll a few numbers, hand out a few thousand points, maybe hand out 4,000 points for giveaways.
Do
1,000 points
random.org.
apiece.
And say easier than numbering everybody. Just take a picture and then just do random whatever number it gets. Then count down that many people and pick that person.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining. I'm going to snip right now. Let's see. I'm going to exclude Defa and I.
Damn it! No, I'm just kidding.
You can exclude Frawl.
Thanks, but yeah. Let's see. So, unless you or anybody else has an opinion, I was thinking about doing 4, 1,000 point giveaways. One win apiece.
It works.
Curse had typed earlier that he wanted to add one thing when there was time.
Yeah, but it falls in the category of statements. It's not a big hurry.
Okay.
So, statements, Lanham and Curse have something. Is there anybody else that has statements?
I
Go
like
for it,
cheese.
Alright, so Crave likes cheese. And Curse and Lanham. I guess, who wants to go first?
Later.
Go for it. No, you go for it.
I just want to put it out there as far as in-game activities. Adventure zones are coming, whether it's 2-3 weeks from now or a couple months from now, whatever. The one thing we've had going is PvP. And as somebody who was never a big PvPer, I can tell you that PvP is a blast in ESO. We run groups, we stay together, we work as a team. If you're not a big PvPer, you should come try it with us. If you're scared that you can't do a good job, as long as you can listen to instructions and stay with the group, you'll be awesome. We need big turnouts for it. It's the fastest and easiest way to get new people involved. Somebody here just recently said something about they're getting ready to come over to EP2. Man, when you're level 10, jump in with us. You want to run a group? We're all about getting a third group going. I want to see 60, 70, 80 people. We tend to stay on the defensive just because of our numbers. And if we get 3 or 4 big groups going, we can start doing whatever we want out there. It's a blast. I don't care if you're a crafter or a social player. You come in there, you follow instructions, you stay with the group, you will have a blast.
Yep.
And that gets us new members. It gets us more people having fun together. Anybody, if you've never played an MMO before, half the game is about being in this channel and hanging out with your friends. It's half the game.
A good follow-up with that, talking about end game and whatnot, on the Great Architect forum or calendar, I went ahead and put something Double and I have already been doing, but I went ahead and signed it up for every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on until, I put it at midnight, but it's going to go until we get tired or we run out of people. If you're a DPS and you want to start looking at raiding with Messiah Complex when the trials come out, get with us. There's going to be several teams, but there is going to be one team for progression specifically, though that does not mean that you cannot do these trials. There are no lockout timers, so it is not like other MMOs where if you're not raiding with the people who are raiding now, then you can't ever raid at all. It's not how it works. So get in there, get your DPS tested. Let us get a good look at you. If you're struggling with DPS, feel free to ask questions. We will help you out. We've already taken 2 or 3 people and improved their DPS quite a bit. They're looking good. They're getting better. They're feeling a lot better about themselves. They're even more excited about the game than they already were. So don't be afraid. You can sign up for it on the website, or you can just show up at 7 p.m. every Tuesday night. We're gonna start. I'll ask for people in Messiah Complex chat and Great Architect chat in the guild chats in game. Just let me know. I'll take a list down. We'll get to you when we can get to you. We can take 2 at a time.
That's what it's about right there. Helping people out.
I can run one if you get too many.
I've almost got all of our winners.
Yeah, I would love to see other tanks and healers step forward as well. We've been challenging Enka, had him start healing yesterday. He does a good job. He's a little nervous. He just needs to do it a lot more. So make that son of a bitch heal for you.
You're mine. Your
And
ass
yeah,
is
I was saying,
mine.
and since Crave is tanking a lot now, we need to find him some players to run with. I mean, on a regular basis.
As soon as I get the veteran rank, I don't mind healing as well.
I seen Inca say, I don't know if it's serious or not, but regardless of the fact, it does need to be mentioned. I know we said it once earlier, but I don't think we really pointed out exactly where it is. Wait calendar, top left. When you go to greatarchitect.us, in the top left-hand side, right underneath the YouTube channels where it's got Def Tank's channel, Tindval's channel, Crave's channel, right below that is the calendar. And you'll see that just about all the dates are like a greenish color, but some of them are a turquoise color. If you click on them, it'll pop out a little window telling you what is scheduled on that date.
Hey, since you guys were talking about the trials and rating in general, or end game, earlier you guys were saying that you probably need some DPS. I'm a long ways away. I'm only level 10, but it's easy to change right now. I'm happy to roll whatever you guys need, so it doesn't matter to me.
Who was that? Was that Necrotal?
No, that was Maglor.
Malgor? I will just, if I can add something, I would say just play what you want to play. By no means should you be forced to feel like you should play something just, for someone else's purposes. Like, I've seen that in a lot of MMOs, like, just saying, okay, well, you guys really need healers, so I'll make a healer. Personally, like, in my opinion, I wouldn't make you do that. I'd say play what you feel most comfortable with and do what you want to do to have fun in the game. That's the main thing, right? If you want to help us and roll a healer simply because you want to do that, then sure, by all means. But my main point is play what you enjoy,
And really, we've got enough members coming up that it doesn't matter what you roll. There'll be someone else to fill the other roles.
Spend some time finding what you like.
If there is a glaring weakness, it really is DPS. We seem to have multiple people that can tank. Could probably use another tank or two. We have an official buttload of healers. Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a quick question on DPS. Lanham or Dubber or Curse, Crave could probably answer this. Where should I go just to get, some kind of idea of DPS that I'm getting? Like, I know what I'm getting on like B6s and stuff. Should I be looking at the same level as me in like the gargoyles for a single target and what for mobs? Like, is there a good way to get a general idea?
Well, I don't want to get into too much as far as this goes here. Since this isn't really a DPS type meeting, we can definitely cover this in a few minutes when we're done here.
Excellent.
A good idea would be 1 to 2 VRs higher than you. If you want to run a gargoyle, that's fine if you can survive. But keep in mind that there is a measurable amount of survivability. So probably ideal to have me come tank it for you while you kill it, basically.
Oh, cool.
All right. Let me have the floor for just a moment because I have our winners. I did notice I forgot to mention donation methods. You can always purchase points through the store, like I said before. And at least you're getting a little something out of your donations. If you want to, you can donate directly to my PayPal. That's where I'm storing the chest or the bank anyway. There's a thread, and I'll have to get it back into the member forum so you guys can see it. I took it out for a little bit, but I will put up a thread talking about methods for donating if you do want to donate more than what we have set. on the store, and of course, we'll give you the points, whatever it equates to for the amount. If you do want to donate more than $20, I think the store does allow you to donate more than the set amount on pretty much all the items anyway. So if you are feeling generous. Anyway, our winners for the 1,000 points, which I have already given out, if you hadn't noticed. First, we have Inca.
Hey.
The second winner, Adora.
Yay!
Sorry if I pronounced any of these names poorly. The third winner, Gilson. And the fourth, Perilous.
Congrats,
Very good
wieners.
job. Congrats, guys.
You're a wiener.
Thank you.
So
Would you
you
like to be a wiener too?
Wiener.
So you guys can you can use those on anything that's in the shop now, or you can hang on to them for items that may be added in the future. They're not going to go anywhere. They don't decay. They should stay forever. So that's pretty much concludes the meeting. If you guys want to stay around and talk about ESO, it's up to you. But I'm going to step out at this point. Thank everybody for coming. This has been a really awesome turnout. I don't know if I've had the attention of so many people at one time ever in my entire life.
That's okay. I wasn't paying attention.
Thank you. But I appreciate it, and I look forward to the next one.
Yeah, I think this was something that was good for the community as a whole. I mean, we covered a lot of good stuff.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming out. I am going to probably hit the bed soon. I'll see you guys later.
Later.
Have a good one.
Good night.
That's going to cap up the recording going on in the Twitch channel. It's too late to start doing anything as far as playing additional ESO. So anybody that's been hanging out in the Twitch channel, listening and stuff, I appreciate you guys even tuning in, to participate in what we do in Great Architect, trying to keep everything intact. So again, thank you guys for watching the stream, following, and things like that. And y'all have a good night.
Once again, since I have all y'all here, if you are interested in playing Daggerfall Covenant at all, contact @Fral, @FRAL, and I will get you into the Dread Talon, and we can start, all our evil plans to start our coup d'état on the EP side.
User left your channel.
Hey, Frog, are you available on Fridays and Sundays?
Say what?
Are you available on Fridays and Sunday nights?
I will be once I get back home. I'm actually on a work trip right now.